There's a lot of stuff going on this week, Stu. There's football coming back. College football is actually going to start up. I think we've got a little bit of time to sort of stretch before the NFL. But there's these events that always happen right around this time of year, like Little League World Series. Crap, never watching it. Right. But the U.S. Open, I'm always watching.
Are we starting with tennis again?
We started. Great. Yes, then that's the case. We're starting with tennis again. Technically starting with tennis, because I saw a story that was right up your alley, and it was a player named Casper Ruud.
Yes.
Ruud. Are you familiar with Casper Ruud?
Is he white?
He's white as a ghost, as you can imagine.
A friendly ghost.
It'd be shocking if he wasn't white, right?
Well, I mean, a name like Casper. Yeah, I've never seen a black person named Casper. So the first black Casper would be the first one I ever seen. But
Taylor, I hope you were looking up black people named Casper. Please tell me, okay? Because I'm pretty certain Izzy's on that. He took a guess, right? Yeah. I love it.
Casper Ruud is from Norway, and I don't know what their deal is with recreational drugs in Norway, but he's not a fan of the weed smell in New York, Stu. He says it's the worst thing about New York, about the U.S. Open. I can't say I disagree with him necessarily, because I remember when weed was not first passed, but like early on in the California time when it was passed recreationally, and I'm walking, down the Mission, and I'm doing all this stuff that I'd done in the past, and I'm just like, the entire city just smells like weed. And it's not like, I get it. It's not harmful. It's not, if you don't hate the smell, it's not that bad. It's not cigarette smoke. But if it was, like, if the whole entire city that you lived in smelled like cigarette smoke, you'd be pretty damn pissed. And so I don't know. I'm kind of with Casper on this one. Like, I don't know how to avoid it, but I think the smell is probably a little bit too much.
No, you can't avoid it because cannabis is legal now. You can get it anywhere. It's not like you couldn't get it anywhere in New York before it became legal. But it does smell. I said this years ago when I went to New York. Like, I noticed it. And by the way, he is wrong, because everyone knows the most annoying thing about New York is Times Square and the New York Jets. Okay, those are the most annoying.
Sure. Times Square. You cannot take your kids towards Times Square because there's so many like cartoon characters with their heads off or like looking disgusting. Where you're just like, I don't want to have to explain that to my kid.
Right. Yeah, but if you want to smell weed, Times Square is certainly the place to go. So. It is. Listen, I said it years ago. Like, you noticed it. It was like an overnight thing, and I don't think it's exclusive to New York City. I think this happens in many, many cities where you just walk around the city and the entire city is smoking weed. They're smoking joints, and the whole city smells like pot. Now, I love pot. I love the smell of pot. But I would understand why people would be annoyed. Casper Ruud, whatever the hell his name is, from Norway. I understand why that would annoy him, because it annoys me too, and I love marijuana.
I have a shocking update for everybody.
Huh. Oh, wait. Go for
Casper Holstein, a black Casper. Casper Holstein was born in 1877, and he was a prominent New York mobster involved in the Harlem numbers rackets during the Harlem Renaissance.
How about that? It was a different time.
When was Casper the Ghost created? Do you think he was whitewashed and this was actually the original Casper the Ghost? I think that's a possibility. First of all, by the way, Casper Ruud, if I'm a New Yorker, rude. Like, don't say that about my city. All right. Second of all, I think you need to change. So if you're from a place where marijuana is not like a regular thing, I think you need to sort of change the way you think about that smell, right? Because the smell, to me, it's not that bad. It's not terrible. But it's also associated for me with like bad stuff happening, right? Like, if you ever walked back in the day around the neighborhood and you smelled weed, you're like, whoa, this might be a bad neighborhood. Like, there's some stuff going on here. Now it's just, hey, probably some people relaxing, probably some people like unwinding after a tough day, same as having like a cocktail at a happy hour. I think you just change the way you think about that weed smell. And then you're like, oh, okay, not a bad smell, just other people's mental health just improving a little bit.
Yes. Has weed become too normalized? I'm sorry. I'm asking you this seriously. Is it because I miss the days where you would not just smoke walking down Park Avenue? I miss the days of meeting a guy in an alley. I've told the story before about the Tide door. Okay, Mikey's laughing because I'm
I miss
talking
the
about
days
meeting
of no, because I miss the days of meeting a man in an alley. Is not what I had on my bingo card.
No,
from Stugotz
but I
today.
did too.
Oh, yeah, same with gambling, by the way. I mean, love FanDuel, but you know what? When FanDuel pays me or I pay FanDuel, I would like to meet a FanDuel representative in an alley and exchange the cash. If we, preferably in a brown bag, if we could do it like that. That would be a great service.
I think you can avoid taxes that way. Yes.
Let's see if FanDuel could get on that. But it's become too normalized, Izzy. I used to have to go to this place called the Tide Door. I've told this story before, where I would get there. It's in like Flushing, Queens somewhere, right? And I would get there and a little part of the door would slide open, right? So it's a door within a door. It would slide open. And he would stick his hand out, and there would be beautiful bags of weed in his hand. And I would take one, and then I would give him money. And I never saw the guy's face, and he never saw mine. And I missed those days because I felt like I was going to get arrested, you know? And
Pretty
so
sure you
it
just
becomes too
described
normalized. Now I can just smoke right out. I can smoke walking down Park Avenue, and the cop can't do anything to me. How about that?
I think they should have called that a glory hole instead of a Tide Door. I think it's a lot more obvious.
The idea of just a hand coming out with weed.
I do. And I do agree with you, though. Like, the more I think about it, like, I used to think, hey, just legalize all the hard drugs so that you can sort of, control it, right? And just, but when you sort of normalize these things too much, like the butterfly effect or the continuous effect is like, it's pretty long. So I was just talking to my niece the other day, senior in high school. She was telling me about a conversation she overheard just in the hallway where one person that she doesn't know was asking another person she doesn't know, hey, what's the hardest drug you've done on campus? 16 years old. Now, it used to be where it's like, wow, if I can get away, and I never did this. If you can get away with smoking weed in high school, wow. But now you're talking about like euphoria brought to life. Like, what's the hardest drug you've done on campus? And there were people answering the damn questions. And I'm just like, that's insane. I want to homeschool my kid if I ever had one. Thank God I don't have to. It's out of control.
Right. You would want to homeschool your kid for about a week.
Yeah, probably.
So I love that category. The hardest drug you've done on campus.
That's insane. And then there's like these kids that are like addicted to vapes. Like they go to the bathroom, it's like, hey, you got a vape? And I'm just like, wow. Like when you hear these stories, they sound like drug fiends. And I'm like, what has like high school gotten to? I don't really want to know, I don't think.
You got that strawberry banana?
Wait, is it prominent where you live, Mike? I mean, you're up in Connecticut. Do you smell weed all over your town?
No, we do.
You ever drive by a dispensary and you know they're making weed, like they are just growing weed and they're supplying their own store? It smells glorious. It does.
Yes.
Now, it's not me walking around in the city because you're getting all the weed at once and all the different flavors at once. I am a cannabis connoisseur.
You ever go to the medical marijuana place or drive by it and see just a bunch of people hanging out outside of it? It's like, there's a bunch of people without their car, just hoping to buddy up to somebody and be like, hey, you want to smoke some of that with me?
It's like a teenager hanging out outside of a liquor store hoping somebody will go in and buy the beer.
Except
hey,
way
sir,
more
can you get me
pathetic.
some weed?
Way more pathetic.
I lost my card. Do you think you could spot me?
I used to get the guy who did my lawn to get me beers all the time and liquor. It was great. Bobby D.
God, careful with the last name. I don't know if
I said, no. His last name is not D. Okay.
It's not
He's not related to Mike D, former UM athletic director.
Okay, good.
Or Paul D. I'm sorry. Was it Paul D? His last name is not D, is he? I shortened it by about 14 letters. Okay.
Gotcha. But yeah, I feel like this is an older story, by the way, because like it was the story last year. It's never gonna go away. But the other story that made me think of you, Stu, was Arch Manning. All right.
Yes.
He is the quarterback of the #1 team in the country in the preseason. He's got the background. He's got the storylines. He's got everything that attracts you to a quarterback.
Is he white?
Great question. A little darker than Casper, but he is still white.
Okay.
And Arch had a quote that, there's some people who are just born for this, and like he was literally born into the Manning family, so he's probably born for this. But this quote, like, immediately should be like t-shirts and the theme of their entire season. You ready for it?
Yep.
Somebody asked him about getting ready for the season in which every opponent will have the target on your back, right? And he said, the target's not on our back. We got a red dot on everyone else. Holy shit.
I love that.
Re-release the schedule, put a red dot right on the helmets of every single opponent and said, Arch is coming for you. Like that. And if you watch the clip, like,
are you mentally prepared to have that huge X on your back all season long where everybody is going to be coming for you?
I mean, I think that's all of us at Texas, and I think we kind of try to shift the narrative. We're going for everyone else. Target's not on our back. We have the red dot on everyone else.
Right off the dome. Like he had that one ready, and he's just like, not just the level of confidence because of who he is, but like he knows everybody's ready to watch him. He knows like everybody's hoping for Texas and he to be
He's
like
embracing it. Yes.
Yeah. Tennessee with Peyton times 10. And here he is, not just embracing it, but like firing away with t-shirt ready quotes. I think I love this kid.
I think I do too, but I can't wait until they're down 14-0 against Ohio State this weekend. We'll see who has a red dot where. I mean,
I think there'll be a lot of memes on that, but that doesn't make any sense either. Like, go ahead and rank Ohio State number one. I know they're at home, but you can't have the number one team being an underdog in week one.
I think you can. Listen, the preseason rankings mean nothing. They really they
so make that make sense.
No, because I think if like. Fast forward to like week 7, and if this game were taking place and Texas was still number 1 and Ohio State was still number 3, I can envision a world where Ohio State, just because they're at home, would be a slight favorite over a team ranked number 1 in the country.
You've played 7 games or 6 games and have an idea of what these teams look like. But if you're doing the preseason thing and you see that week 1 is right there, just go ahead and put Ohio State as a number 1 team.
Well, what is the spread, though? What is the spread, Taylor?
I think it's 2.5, which means it's basically a pick'em game. Okay. So if it's a pick'em game,
right, then
make the home team the number 1 team because they have the friendlier schedule.
See what the spread is at FanDuel, Taylor. I'd be interested. No, I understand what you're saying. I get it, but it's a preseason ranking. So what you're saying is because they haven't played yet, they clearly think Ohio State is better. And the reason I'm asking the spread is the home team, even in a 3-1 matchup, is usually going to get a slight advantage. They're going to be like -1 to -3. You know.
Wow, we should start doing guess the lines.
Wow.
We should take a segment from Bill Simmons and do guess the lines because Stu, you almost nailed it. It's Ohio State -2.5 because of the home field advantage. And I love people getting so worked up over preseason rankings because if you guys remember just last year, the opening game was Georgia Tech, Florida State in Ireland, and Florida State was number 10 in the country. And everybody was like, wow, great win for Georgia Tech. And then you fast forward the season, and you're like,
not so good a win.
I think we had the Georgia Tech coach on after that win, Mikey A.
I think we did.
And that's the whole point for me with these preseason rankings. They don't make any sense. You're basing it mostly off of last year, especially now with the transfer portal, so much turnover. You don't really know what's happening. And right off the bat, you got something that doesn't make any sense. And the number 1 team in the country, don't make them an underdog. Like that's all. That's all.
No, listen, I understand that, but I think in any normal situation, the home team, even in a 3 versus 1, I understand number 1's coming in. I think it's basically evenly matched, Izzy, in terms of talent. They're just giving them that home field 2.5 point, 3-point favorite. You know, that's what you get when you're at home. If Texas was at home, don't you think Texas be favored by like 3 or 4?
Was the schedule out first? Or did the preseason rankings?
You're really hung up on that.
I'm telling you, you'll look at everything when you're ranking these teams. If I was still a responsible AP reporter, I'd say, wow, Texas and Ohio State, pretty close as a team. But look at Ohio State's schedule. Look at Texas's schedule. They start off at Ohio State. Logic says Ohio State should be number 1.
I have a good guy for you to ask, okay? He's going to join us in about 25 minutes. He is calling the game this weekend. Joel Klatt will join us from Fox Sports, calling the game with Gus Johnson. You can ask him. You can rail against preseason rankings all you want with Joel Klatt.
Nobody's going to give me the answer that I want because the answer that I want is just get rid of the preseason rankings. Come out with rankings after week 1. Talk about a great show on a Tuesday.
Yeah. Joel Klatt might give you the answer that you want, Izzy. I think he might agree with you. He might.
But does he have the pull to get it done?
Well, listen, he's the lead analyst for Fox, right? Does he? I don't know if he has the pull to get it done. I mean, but if any, I don't.
Is he the lead analyst or is he the lead guy that sits next to Gus Johnson? Because I don't think anybody that sits next to Gus Johnson gets any shine. Like, he takes it all. Because I've never heard of. I'm assuming it's Klatt, a K with two T's. Is that the name that I?
Klatt, yes.
Okay, then I do know who he is.
Yeah, former Colorado quarterback, right?
Okay, I mean he's done a great job next to Gus because it's hard to shine.
He has done it. Gus Johnson is so good at his job. Like, he gives the perfect amount of urgency to a big game. I love Gus. Who is the guy you most want on a big college football game? I think for me, it might be Gus Johnson. Right?
I don't spend that much time watching the Fox games. I don't know why. I guess I'm just stuck on SEC and stuff. So I don't hear as much of Gus. The thing about Gus is that he makes every play seem like the greatest play ever. And it's hard to maintain that level of enthusiasm as a fan. And then he'll also just randomly tell a story about, I believe, a son whose father was in prison and then gains 9 yards and just like weaves it in so perfectly. Just like, wait,
he's a fucking assassin. That's how good he is, man. He can do that shit. You know?
He's that good. Yeah, but I'm a big CBS fan. I'm a big fan of the former CBS guy, Vern Lundquist, who was a big
Vern is great. Keith Jackson was probably, all time, probably Keith the Jackson's greatest. Musburger, certainly in that conversation, no question about it. Gus Johnson is in that conversation. Chris Fowler in that conversation.
He is. I feel like he just knows the game so well. He's so well informed, and and obviously when he's got Herbie next to him, it's a pretty good combo.
I'm excited for college football. Again, Joel Klatt's going to join us here coming up in a few minutes. Mikey, you were telling me about a visit to well, I was talking to you on the way to your doctor visit yesterday. We spoke 17 times yesterday. It was a busy day. Thank you to everyone for supporting us. We are super excited about this, working with our friends over at FanDuel, both on Stugotz and Company and God Bless Football. We had a busy day yesterday, really busy. I had to shut my fucking phone off. Jesus Christ. Media writers, leave me alone. Seriously. Marshawn, enough. How'd you get my number? But anyway, Mikey, I talked to you. You were on the way to the doctor, and then I talked to you after the doctor. You mentioned something.
I changed.
Well, you mentioned something that happened on your way home to the doctor. I didn't pay attention to you because Andrew Marchand was texting me. So
yes, no.
What kind of doctor?
I went to see the urologist. The PP doc, and I just there's a lot of doctors that have very awkward moments with their patients, and at some point, I'm wondering: do we want to have the chit chat? Do we want to have the small talk while you, the patient, is at your most embarrassed? Because I was talking to this doctor about my kid's baseball team.
Right.
And then he said, drop your pants.
Mm-hmm.
And he literally had me in his hand.
All of you.
He had all of it in his hand. And he's asking me, so what position does your kid play?
Right.
And I'm just sitting there going like, is this really what we're going to do right now? Are we going to have this conversation while
That's got to be like a thing that he does, right? He's got to do that on purpose.
He gets your thing in his hand and then he starts asking you questions about your kids. The definition of small talk, doing it with your penis in his hands. I mean,
he had the whole thing just, and he's sitting there.
Now that makes it sound like it's bigger than Stugotz is implying. He said the whole thing.
It's a hog.
Both inches.
I was going to say both hands, but okay, both inches.
Well, listen. Thank you, Izzy.
You're welcome.
I like a little small talk. I have to be honest with you. I mean,
you feel more comfortable in that situation, like
Well, it distracts. Listen, it distracts from the fact
nothing
that
distracts.
The penis is in the doctor's hands. I mean,
listen, it wasn't even. It was the marbles.
Yeah,
the fun bag. Jiggly gems.
Okay. Oh yeah, everything okay? By the way,
pouch, the giggle stacks.
You all right?
The pillow pebbles, the fruit basket, the Tender Twins. Yeah. It was he's giving a little yank, and he's like,
would you have rather him done that? Just started nicknaming your penis and balls? I mean,
I'd rather him just go, listen, this is awkward for you. This is awkward for me. Well, maybe it's not awkward for me because this is my
radio silence is fine.
But I want
you to focus on
everything
what you focus on, get it done.
Thank you. Move on.
I got a worse one for you. Have you ever had your examination with the doctor and he has students behind him? And he asks, do you mind if the students stay in the room?
Well, what kind of, what is he doing? I mean, what is she doing?
I mean, they're teaching. It's like two people that are going to be doctors or like on the verge of being doctors. And they're just like, they're training basically. You ever go to the restaurant or you have the trainer, waiter or waitress, and it's just like, oh, they're taking your order and you've got like somebody supervising in the back.
Yes, but I'm fully clothed just having dinner. I don't have my penis in a doctor's hand.
You're not on all fours with your ass in the air, right? And so it is definitely, and then so that question sort of lingers in the air, right? Do you mind if they stick? So I'm like, first of all, the first thing you do is look at them because it's like what they look like matters for some reason. So I look at them and I accidentally make eye contact with both of them. And now all four of eyes are looking at me. And I'm like, it's going to look bad if I say no, right? Like, what do I have to hide if I'm saying no, even though I'm never going to see these two students again and there's laws against them saying anything? But I said yes. And it just makes everything because they just stood in the corner. They didn't say anything. They didn't write anything down. They're just looking and they're listening. And I'm like, I don't feel like I'm just talking to my doctor anymore. I feel like I'm talking to an auditorium full of people.
You're performing.
Yeah, with my pants down.
Is there something that could happen in that moment to make you say no? Because if I look at one of the students and they have a big smile on their face, I think I'm saying no. I think I'm saying no.
Yeah. I think there needs to be like a question or two that I need to ask these students in the future to just kind of vet them and be like, okay, you're good. But yeah, if I look at them and I just feel any sort of discomfort, just an instinctive thing, I'll be like, nope. And they'll ask why. And I'll be just like, I have no idea. Just get out of my room.
Do you like small talk in general? Do you guys like small talk in general? Just like there's a time and a place for it. I understand what Mikey A is saying here. I don't mind that the doctor does it. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for everyone. So small talk kind of distracts from the discomfort that everyone in that room is feeling. Okay,
dude, I never feel more stupid than when people try to attempt small talk with me. I don't know what to say. Like they just start talking nonsense that I'm just like, oh, my grass is growing greener now, and I just walk away. Like, I don't know what to say. Like,
you're not good at it. I'm so good at this. I am like, no one is better at small talk than me. Nobody. I mean,
it makes me nervous. Like, I start to sweat, and I'm like, this person's just gonna have a terrible opinion of me. I ran into somebody I know. Actually, you know him. You've texted him. My rehab guy, my trainer, my second trainer. His name's Blake.
Yes. The guy who can fix my back that I never go see. Therefore, my back is not fixed.
He's gonna fix your back.
I mean,
he's never touched my penis, just so you know. I ran into him at a Panthers game, and I was like in line for something, and I might have had a couple of drinks or whatever, but like it was the most awkward, weird conversation. I didn't know what to say, and then I just like turned around when I was done to sort of signal that he should leave. I'm like,
this is interesting.
He probably thinks I hate him.
Right. Interesting on so many levels. Sorry, Mikey A, because now you're seeing the doctor out of its normal element. It's like all of a sudden things become weird. You don't know how
that would be. Yes.
Our kids are going to play each other in Little League.
Right. It's like when I saw the guy who works at the cannabis dispensary outside of the cannabis dispensary, and he recognized me. I didn't know what to say to him. When I walk into the place, I know exactly what to say to him. Hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? A little small talk on the front end. Gives me my bud. I give him the money. I'm out of there. Okay. And then I start blowing it all over the U.S. Open.
Bud. Yes.
Bud.
Izzy, do you ever run into this phenomenon? I have a few people, and I ran into a bunch yesterday, where there's one topic we talked about once, and every time you see them, they have to bring up that topic, even though. So, like one time, I talked to a guy about how much I didn't like the Jets drafting Zach Wilson, and every time I see him, he goes, "Zach Wilson on the Dolphins now, huh? How do you think he's going to do that?" And I'm like, dude, we don't need to have that conversation. Like, we could just say hi.
But you never say it to him. Like, as you're approaching him or he's approaching you, do you mutter under your breath to yourself, like, oh, here comes the Zach Wilson guy?
Here comes Zach Wilson. That's what I call him. Here comes Zach Wilson.
Because you know it's coming, right?
I had one of those. I had one of those social anxiety moments just this past Sunday. That actually gave me a great idea of where we were at. But so we were at this. I was with Anthony and somebody who whose name I can't say for some reason, but works over at Meadowlark. And she, Anthony, and I were at a coffee place. No, for some reason, no. We were at a coffee place and they had a DJ, and I forget what the name of it. It was like Beats and Brews, probably something like that. And it's 11 a.m. and it's oots, 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 and it's just like boom, boom, and like people coming in like they're going to a festival, and like people in the back like all dancing and stuff. I'm like, it's 11. I am sweating my ass off. But anyway, I find myself a little comfortable corner here, and I'm looking around, and yeah, you see the typical couple of people who are just like, oh, and they just start talking. I'm like, all right, just stay away. Just let me stay in my little corner here. I don't want to really talk to anybody. And then somebody comes up, Stu. And these folks, and look, this, as I tell the story, I should put it on the front end. Very nice guy. I do remember meeting him at a Levitard event, and you'll know why in a minute. But he's an aggressive person who comes up to me, sunglasses on, and says, you don't remember me? And now I feel like shit. Like right off the bat, I feel terrible because now I'm not thinking it's a fan. I'm thinking it's somebody that I'm actually close to, that I've met, you know, maybe in Wilton Manors or something, had deep talks with. And I'm like, how do I play this off? So he's wearing sunglasses, and I go, drop the sunglasses. And he drops the sunglasses, and I go, oh, it's you. I have no idea who it was
From
at
that
the moment.
place that one time.
and then so like I'm racking my brain because he does look familiar, and I'm like, man, I feel like such an asshole. Hopefully he makes me feel better. And he says, yeah, I met you at a Levitard event. And I'm like, come on, man. You can't expect me to remember you if you met me at a Levitard event.
No, they do. They do, though. Yes.
But then he told me who he was. And I can't remember the name of the restaurant. It's 2 names. But he's your guy from this restaurant in Boca, who I believe you did the first restaurant reservation call with, like a party of 17 or something.
Steve Mann, Buddha. Yes.
And the restaurant is?
He used to work at Prime Italian.
Yeah,
now he's at Burton Max's.
Burton Max's, that's it. And so
I've been to dead shows with him, man.
Yes, great guy. And I could understand
Wonderful
why he
guy.
would expect me to remember him. But it was just the one meeting. Now I'll never forget him.
Right, of course not. Right, he's part of the Boca posse. Taylor, your laugh. He meets Huckman down for avocado toast on the regular. I mean,
yeah. And so, but he'll tell you, like, go have him on the show and tell him how awkward I was and how weird I was. And then 5 minutes into it, once we don't have, like, he stood next to me in our little corner, 5 minutes in, has nothing to say to me. I have nothing to say to him. I left. I just waited in the car for like half an hour. I was like, you guys, I got to go get some air conditioning. I'll be back.
That's a good job.
That's how awkward I am in those situations.
By the way, I have news for the audience here. You will not be able to ask Joel Klatt that question because he just sent me and Taylor a text saying that he needs to reschedule for later this week. So,
oh no,
I don't know what happened there. What do you think? What do we think happened there, Taylor?
I'm not too sure exactly. He was very apologetic because he knew that we were planning around this. But Izzy, your story got me thinking about an awkward interaction I had one time with Small Talk. I was in Miami in 2020 for UNC versus Texas A&M at Hard Rock Stadium in the Orange Bowl, and going on the field to do my stand-up, and Will Manso is right next to me. And similar to how I reached out to you for advice, Will Manso was one of the people I reached out to too. And I'm doing my stand-up. Will Manso's waiting to go live, so he's kind of off to the side and watching. And I finish my stand-up, and Will Manso comes up to me, forgets that I had reached out to him when I was in school, and was like, hey, man, I just want to tell you, like, you're great for a college student. And I didn't have the heart to tell him I was like 28.
Well, you take that compliment, you file
Not
it
so
away.
great after.
I look like a college student at age 28. But yeah.
Oh, you're 28? Not that good.
Yeah, right? Not that. I mean, you should have just pulled on that thread right there. You could have seen the life come out of his face. It's like, oh, no, I was a college kid when I asked you to help me out and you didn't do anything. And now look at me and look at you. Same spot.
Yep. Same spot. Yes. Can you give us some of that stand-up?
So I don't remember what it was exactly, but it was.
You remember the joke that crushed? Come on.
No, it wasn't a stand-up.
Stand-up comedy.
Oh my God! I'm sorry. I was responding to Joel Klatt. Oh my God, we're tired. FanDuel, I love you.
Yes, Taylor as a stand-up comedian on open mic night. We need to see that now.
I do want to see that. I swear to you, Taylor. You guys just had an entire conversation, and I was rescheduling Joel Klatt for tomorrow.